in his webinar series around compliance regulations and all things related to career colleges, not only in the Midwest, but across the nation, has been instrumental in giving us all some insights that are very important to grow our career colleges for our communities, our students, and our admin and school and staff. So Tom, tell us a little bit about what you've been doing over the last 18 months with this pandemic, obviously, that has impacted so many of our colleagues and peers in the career college space.
Well, I think a lot of it is focused on closer. The challenges that our schools have addressed with regards to placement, retention, and other issues with how they have to operate. Hybrid education. We went from many institutions like this one, AIM, where we're staying here today for Workforce Forward, an event that highlights in an expose fashion literally all sorts of disciplines, but taking all of those different disciplines that had to go into a virtual environment had many, many challenges with it. Now, the good news is, out of challenges also come opportunities. We saw in a number of occupations and disciplines where there had been trepidation to do online education, that maybe a hybrid model could work. From a legislative and regulatory side, we focused on many, many challenges, not only with ensuring that the regulatory compliance issues that in a normal set of circumstances would have been imposed on schools, short-term programs with the 70/70 requirement. In a normal set of circumstances, we meet those metrics quite well. In a COVID environment, nobody was getting placed. You also couldn't put individuals into their clinic or into their various different externship or internships because the externship or internship facilities were closed or locked down, whether that be in allied health or in a number of other vocations. So all of those were challenges that we took on. We also were, I think, instrumental in helping schools, as you and I talked about, with the HERF funding, the Higher Education Emergency Relief Funding, and helping all of our institutions understand that that money was there for the students, as well as in the first round there for our institutions, and that we worked to make sure that we, A, were compliant in bringing that money into the institutions, and B, making sure we were equally as compliant in sending it out with the students as well as to the institutions. And we've done that now with 2 subsequent sets of HERF funding. We're preparing right now for a number of legislative issues, short-term programs, again, Workforce Forward. You're seeing a lot of Congress, Democrats and Republicans alike, emphasize short-term programs as a means to be a catalyst to start the build back after COVID, and that a lot of those programs don't have to be 2-year and 4-year degrees. Nothing against them, mind you, but just that there are opportunities at the 150 to 300 to 600 clock hours to get quality credentials, certificates, or diplomas to enter into the workforce and to build towards those other degrees and other credentials. Well, Congress is very much in favor of those changes. We just got to make sure that it includes all of our students and all of our institutions as well. So those are some of the things that I've been working on. A number of the bills that are working their way through Congress right now, the resolution that passed the Budget Reconciliation Act that the Senate passed just before the recess is now moving over into the House that will be focused on in September, along with legislation in the infrastructure bill. Again, here at AIM, and at one of the top occupations going into the next 10 years happens to be in the area of energy, and it happens to be wind turbines. If you look at the occupational health guide right now, the fastest growing program is one that is taught here at AIM and at other institutions like ours. And for all of the individuals that have been here with us today, guidance counselors from local high schools, as well as individuals from the state and federal legislature, and other individuals like Sandra McKinley from the Rainbow Coalition, a lot of our discussion is around how we work to help all of those different communities meet their goal of a quality education.
Well, it's fantastic the work that CSPEN has been doing, Tom, with your leadership. Rightfully so, the legislative landscape right now for education at large, but I would say specifically around career colleges, as you pointed out, is one that could really impact our workforce in this country in a negative or positive way. But I think that having the right advocacy groups like CSPAN are really bringing into light how career colleges and working with legislation and working with the communities in career placement, which means working literally with the potential employers, can be done in a way where we're going to be able to capitalize on this acceleration that has been COVID-19 in terms of accelerating our modality of programs and study, as you mentioned, that are now more of a hybrid model, and being able to be flexible enough, to your point, that you've got institutions as well as employers in, let's say, allied health or here in aviation